example of a particularly challenging stakeholder conversation you've had and how you navigated it?
The one I think of is one where at my previous company, they were a digital product studio. So they would have clients where they would build a product, an app, a website, whatever, or some features. And before I joined, there was a lot of problems with quality. And by that, I mean a lot of bugs were making it to production. And the key stakeholder here, so I'm not really sure of the title of this person, but they was like the client who we had to make happy. They had lost a lot of trust in us because of all the bugs that kept happening to production. They kept getting complaints. And the challenging part was having to make them let me do my job to help turn things around in a way that I thought was best and not in a way that they wanted it to be done. So they wanted extreme documentation, like very, very detailed test cases and so on. Because that's how they've worked before. So like I got it, because like, one, if you see things going badly in the project and team, and then you've had experience with detailed test cases going well, then I see why that's what you want. Except they did not. They also wanted us to be able to add new features, which would also be tested. They wanted things to be automated. And I think like if you're not going to have more people, you got to prioritize. So the challenge was around being nice about saying no. And what I had to think of also in this instance was, how was I perceived? Because I'm new to this person, so I've done a good job at other projects before. They don't know that, and it doesn't really make sense to in my opinion, to tell people that I know what I'm doing, leave me alone. So kind of what I did was listen to them, let them air their concerns, because that was like the biggest part, that they really, I think they had to feel heard. And then instead of trying to get them to focus on what they wanted to happen, have them focus on what problems were they unhappy with, and then me talking about how it addressed those problems. So for example, we did some documentation, writing down some scenarios. I then increased a lot of the transparency. So everything to do with my testing I shared to gain trust. And then after like, that couldn't take that long, like within a few weeks, they're off my case. So it was that, because the tester who was on the project, they did not want to share. Like I was like, why don't you just show, like, what there's nothing for us to hide. And they didn't really want to share. So that lack of transparency and all the problems caused the issue of trust. So I just started sharing. I said, like, this is everything I'm doing. This is why I'm doing it. And they eventually like got off my back. I mean, this was someone who's supposed to be, quite senior. I think they saw themselves as being good at their job. I know in terms of perception and in terms of managing stakeholders, you're going to be judged. I've worked with a lot of people who think I'm younger than I am, which obviously is flattering, but when they think that you've only got 2 years of experience and you're trying to tell them what to do, that's actually not very helpful. So yeah, I tried to tread carefully. But yeah, the main part there was, instead of talking about the solution they want, talk about the problem they want to address, and then how you would address that problem. Well, that's what I did. And then just be fully transparent, and they could like see things. And then eventually over time, because like when they see, okay, things are going on track and we can see everything, they're not going to want to keep track on you like long term. They've got other things to do as well. So once you've proven yourself, then you can continue doing things well. And then maybe they have a wee nosy, but I never really heard anything from it again. And they ended up being very happy pretty soon after.